Hey, Justin Humphreys here. Today is day 14 of the 90-day video challenge. It is also Father's Day. And today I just wanted to share some thoughts and some lessons that I learned from my father and that have changed my life and obviously shaped the way that I've grown up and that I've looked at life. And just wanted to pass some of those nuggets on that I learned from him. My father's a great man. And he's a great example to me. I always looked up to him growing up. I knew that he was a great man, and always wanted to be like him. He was my hero, and still is. So my dad, one of the things my dad taught me growing up that has served me very well in my life was to never point the finger. Never point the finger and blame at somebody else. Take responsibility for your life. Take responsibility for your actions. Don't blame other people. And I think I took that to such an extreme as I was growing up that I would always apologize for almost everything. I'd always say I'm sorry for all these things. It didn't even matter if it wasn't my fault. Oh, I'm sorry about that. I'm sorry. And I'm not sure if that's connected, but it probably is, because my dad taught me something and I followed it. When I was younger, it was easy to do that. I don't know why it's harder when you grow up to just do something when you know it's right. But my dad taught me these things when I was younger, and it stuck with me. And so, don't point the finger of blame. You always have some responsibility in the situations in your life. And if you can take responsibility for yourself and for your actions, then you can achieve so much more. And you don't ever become the victim, because you realize that you have the power to control your life. You have the power to control your destiny. You are not bound. You are not affected by everything around you. There are situations, sure, that may not be ideal, and that you could, if you decided to take that route, become the victim. But that's not what it's about, and you don't want to ever go down that road. And I'm grateful to my father for teaching me that, for sharing that with me, because I have never blamed other people for where I am in life. I've never blamed other people for situations. And if I ever found myself doing that, I quickly repented of that and tried to change those thoughts and that pattern that I had. And so don't blame other people. Just treat others, realize that it's your fault sometimes, and be willing to be man enough to say I'm sorry. And also just realize that you can take responsibility. You need to take responsibility for your life. Another thing my father taught me was to just go for my dreams, to live my life on my own terms. And it was something that I saw him struggle with, trying to build a business and try to live his life on his terms, and get out of the 9 to 5, get out of the rat race, right, as they call it. And I knew that he was always working towards bettering himself and moving forward. And that, I remember when I was growing up, I was maybe in middle school or high school, and they said, no more, you cannot say can't anymore. There's no more can't in our house, because there's no reason for us to ever say that. You can always do, nothing's impossible, right? And so I hung on to that. I loved that. I don't know what it was. Just part of me, I just grabbed onto that, and I just ran with it. I just would never, ever, ever say can't ever again. And I just started, thinking, and reading self-help books. I remember asking my dad to borrow a book, and I don't remember if he recommended it or what, but it was The Magic of Thinking Big. I remember reading that as a 14, 15, 16-year-old, and thinking that was the awesome, coolest book I've ever read. And I loved that stuff, and I'm grateful that my father taught me those things. I'm grateful that he strived himself to be better and to move forward and to learn and grow, because that instilled in me the desire to do that. And I've always loved those kind of books. I've always strived to be better myself. And I'm grateful for my father for being a great example to me of that, and for teaching me that, and for seeing that in him, so that I can do that myself and work towards my dreams and my goals. And one other quick thing I'll just share with you is something that my dad, maybe not even intentionally taught, but I do remember him saying at one point that he just wanted to live his life so that he didn't have to make decisions based on money all the time. And if you think about it, a lot of us do live our life based on money. Every decision we make is based on money. Whether we have enough, whether we don't have enough. And, the kind of car we drive, the house we live in, the food we eat, the stores we shop at, all these kind of things, even the schools we go to, sometimes all those kind of things factor in, right? The money that we have determines the life that we live. It doesn't have to be that way. We don't have to live our life based on money. We don't have to live our life, every decision we make doesn't have to be based on money. And yet so many times it is. And so I saw that growing up, and I saw the stress that can come along with that. And I've even experienced it myself. I mean, when my wife and I first got married, we were poor. We were living in an apartment the size of a one-car garage. It was tiny, and literally, I mean, her father laughed when he saw it for the first time. He walked in and he just started laughing because it was so pitiful, the situation that we were living in. But we were just getting started out. We wouldn't trade it for anything. But I had so much stress because as a man, as a father, as a husband, I wasn't a father at that time, I guess, but as a husband, I knew it was my responsibility to provide for my family. And, having that stress and knowing that we didn't have much money, it was difficult sometimes. And I understand that a lot of people are in that situation. And so I just want to encourage you to push for your dreams so that you don't have to live life based on money. That you can make your decisions based on what you want to do, or make your decisions based on what you know is right, rather than what the money dictates you can or can't do. And those are some lessons I learned from my father. I could go on and on and on, and maybe I will at another time share some more things with you that I've learned from my dad over the years, because he's got a ton of stuff that he's taught me, and I'm so grateful for that. Again, mostly for his example. And encourage you guys to be a good example to your children, whether you're father, mother, whether you're an aunt or uncle. Be a good example to your children. Be a good example to the children around you if you don't even have children of your own. And those kids look up to you. Whether you realize it or not, they look up to you, and they see you. They see your example. So set a good example. Be a great example for them. Teach them to take responsibility and to live for their dreams. And I hope you all have a happy Father's Day, and I'll talk to you tomorrow. Thanks.